Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this week's video we will be making a grinding attachment for the lathe. For this I will be using this spindle, and now we first will have to see if it works, because it has been sitting for a few years and it actually does not work. So I checked a few things and these connections looked like they were not good of the potentiometer. So I put some nice crimped contacts on, and while plugging it in I saw that the cable has ripped off of the on-off switch. You could put the on-off switch there, but I just put there's just a bridge put there from the factory. So I made a new one, and as you can see, the spindle works now. So with that out of the way, we can start to think on how to attach the spindle to one of the tool holders. I tried a few things, but I ended up just making a 3D model and then milling it out of aluminum block. Here you can see the program, and the reason why I pre-drill is because the end mill that I'm using is not center cutting, so you can't plunge. This one is one that is center cutting, but it's too big, so I don't use it here. So the one I'm using is the 2 flute that you saw before, and now let's make it on the CNC mill. This is my CNC mill. There are a few videos on my channel that you can go and watch. I turned down the feed at the start of the hole because I didn't pre-drill, so I didn't want to just go in there and it would then break immediately, but this actually worked out pretty good. It was a bit loud at the start, but after that it was it sounded fine, it looked fine, and the chips that came off were pretty impressive. I think this machine is very capable of drilling, not so much of milling, even though it also works, but I think the strength of this machine is with drilling. So I put some sticky double-sided tape on the bottom so the parts wouldn't fly away if they are cut loose and wouldn't break the end mill. Then I milled the slot right here, where we will be able then to clamp the entire thing. And now that we have cut out this part, we can now clean it up, deburr everything, and then we can go and make the holes in the side for clamping the spindle. And the tool I'm using now is a countersinking tool for screw heads, and this is just absolutely beautiful how this cuts. And actually I made 2 of these. And if you're asking yourself how accurate the machine is, it's pretty good. especially if you consider that this was just full slot. It wasn't full depth, but it was the entire end mill, and I didn't go in for a finishing pass, so it's just the surface that it is. And for that I think it's very fine, especially for this machine. And now we are putting in the grinding wheel and the part, so we can test it for the first time. I don't know what kind of grinding wheel this is. It's probably from a Dremel tool, so the quality of it is questionable, but I will be getting some better grinding wheels, and also I will be making something so I can actually dress these grinding wheels, because that's quite important. And as you maybe saw, the quality of the first part was, or the first grind was pretty bad, especially the surface finish. So now on this part, this the second part that I ground, I turned down the speed of the part itself, so it's spinning quite a bit slower. I turned up the spindle speed of the grinding wheel, and this seemed to help with the quality of the grind quite a bit. As you can see, it is able to take off very little material, which is what you want with a grinder. So you can see that the paint stays, because the part that is in there is not really round, or it's probably not mounted round in the 3-jaw chuck. But I think it turns out pretty fine. There's obviously a pretty big learning curve for me how to grind. I have never ground anything. Something also very important to me will be to mount some sort of dust collection system, especially because these things can be very unhealthy for you. And here you can see how accurate it is. It's pretty accurate, but the needle is jumping all over the place because the surface finish is just so rough. You can also see it here pretty good, how rough the surface is. You can see some artifacts. But it was the first test, and I'm happy with it. And with that, thank you for watching, and until the next project.